improvement. I agree.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting of the Lebanon Utility Service Board meeting for Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. Let the record show that all board members are present tonight, and we did have a working session prior. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God.
All right, we like to offer public comment at the beginning and end of each of our meetings, so we will go ahead and offer that now if there's anyone from the public that has any comments. All right, I don't see any at the moment, so we will offer that again at the end. First item tonight is the approval of our minutes from the December 3rd, 2025 meeting. Everyone had a chance to review those minutes, and if so, I'd entertain a motion. My microphone work?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as written for our December 3rd, 2025 meeting, regular meeting.
Second.
Motion made by Aaron, seconded by Ann to approve the minutes from the December 3rd, 2025 meeting. Any additional comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, we also have some public hearing minutes to approve from the December 3rd public hearing. Any comments on those or questions? And if not, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the public hearing minutes from December 3rd, 2025.
Second.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Bill to approve the public hearing minutes dated December 3rd, 2025.
Just a note of procedure. I don't think Bill and I can either vote or second based upon
That's
this.
right.
If you were, weren't present, correct? Okay. good.
Second.
All right.
Still need a second.
Yeah, we have a motion by Ann and seconded by Aaron. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, thanks for that, Tim. Okay, next item is our board appointments for 2026. Our board appointments, committees, and liaisons for each utility.
I move to approve the utility board's slate of officers as follows: Chairman Neil Taylor, Vice Chairman Bill Stoner, Secretary Tim Hudson.
Second.
Motion made by Aaron, seconded by Ann to approve the utility board's slate of officers as he noted. Any additional comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now we will move to the utility department liaisons.
I move to appoint the following utility department liaisons: electric utility Tim Hudson, wastewater utility Aaron Smith, water utility Bill Stoner, I-Lines Ann Patterson, administration Neil Taylor.
Second.
Motion made by Aaron and seconded by Tim to approve the appointment of the utility department liaisons as stated. Any comments, questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, and finally, we will approve the utility board committee members.
I move to approve the utility board's committee members as follows: Personnel Committee Tim Hudson and Bill Stoner, Finance Committee Neil Taylor and Ann Patterson.
Second.
Motion made by Aaron, seconded by Tim to approve the utility board committee members for Personnel and Finance Committee as stated. Any comments, questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, thanks for that, Aaron. We will move on to the 2026 budget, and Sandra Morgan, who's put in a lot of time on our budget, is here tonight. Hey, Sandra.
Good evening, everyone. Before I start on the budget, real quick, I just wanted to give a shout out to Danielle. She helps put everything together for me, and she also goes through and reviews everything before we put it in final form. And then a shout out also to all the managers that spend hours and hours with me, whether they like it or not, just trying to get this budget put together. So we have met with the Finance Committee on a couple different occasions. I've met with a few different board members talking about the budget, and then we've talked about it in working sessions. So what we have tonight will be a very high level of the 2026 budget. If I can get it to change pages. So on the electric utility for 2026, we're proposing operating revenue of $30,660,972. Our operating expenses, $29,944,819. Then we have a net interest of about $129,578. And that's a net of the interest that we earn on the amount that we have in the bank, plus the interest that we pay out on the outstanding electric bonds. So we have a net margin of $845,731. We have $5,849,650 in capital expenditures. Not going to read all these. The big one is the South Substation. But to summarize the electric utility, the current rate structure was put in place back in 2013. It was designed to provide about $1 million per year for capital improvements, averaged over a 5-year period. The 2026 budget, if you take out, you take your operating margin, add back your depreciation and take out your debt, leaves about $1.8 million for capital. And as we've shown on the prior page, our capital is $5.8 million. So it appears that the 2026 cash levels will decrease significantly. As everyone is aware, a rate analysis has been started, should be complete by the end of Q1 is what we're hoping for. And to complete those capital projects on time over the next 5 years, we will need to issue debt in 2026 to cover some of those larger projects. Any questions on the electric utility? On the water utility, we have proposed operating revenue of $5,894,198. Our proposed operating expenses is $4,947,905. Net interest, again, I think we have 2 outstanding bonds on the water utility. Our net interest is $395,164. And our net margin would be $1,341,457. On the water utility, we also have just a little over $5 million in capital improvements for 2026. The big ones being the Chicago Street water treatment plant improvements and the Chicago Street water treatment plant electrical upgrades. That's a mouthful. So in looking at the water utility, the current rate structure was put into place in 2018. It was a 5-year rate adjustment, and the last adjustment was in 2022. It was designed to provide about $758,000 per year for capital improvements. And if we take our operating margin again, plus depreciation, and take out our debt, it leaves $1.8 million. And our capital improvements not covered by availability fees is $3.5 million. So again, for the water utility, the 2026 cash levels will decrease somewhat. Any questions on water? Okay. On the wastewater utility, we have operating revenue of $6,122,281. Proposed operating expenses, $5,544,936. Net interest of $423,212 for a net margin of $1,557,000. Wastewater has some significant capital improvements in 2026, so almost $13 million. Biggest projects, Hickory Junction Lift Station, replacement of the 4H lift station, Edward Drives lift station, and the sanitary sewer lining and gravity sewer reroute, I believe. So looking at the wastewater utility, again, that rate structure was put into place back in 2016. It was designed to provide about $940,000 per year for capital improvements. 2026 will be the 11th year that those rates have been in place. The 2026 budget leaves about $1 million for capital, and the capital improvements are almost $2 million that aren't availability fees. So looking at the current capital plan, the reserves are going to reduce probably about half, and then it'll also reduce the availability fees pretty significantly. So we'll just need to manage larger capital projects over the near future, over the next few years. On telecommunications, we have proposed operating revenues of $853,364, proposed operating expenses of $838,940, interest of $57,402, for a net margin of $71,826. Our proposed capital expenditures for 2026 is $341,050. So to summarize, the 2026 budget leaves about $114,000 for capital and debt. 2026 capital improvements are the $341,000, so our cash will decrease somewhat also. And then looking out over 5 years, the cash is going to decrease slightly, but it's something that we're going to have to manage internally and look at ways to increase customer count or ways to manage those expenses. And lastly, the telecom is projected to continue covering about $350,000 to $400,000 per year in allocated costs. So our recommendation today is for the board approve the 2026 budget as presented.
All right. Thank you, Sandra, for that presentation. As Sandra said, the budget takes a lot of time for her and her staff, and we've put time in on the board reviewing everything, and it's a large, complicated budget that takes a lot of time, and I think it looks pretty good. So thank you, Sandra. Any questions for Sandra on the budget? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Move to approve the 2026 budget as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Ann to approve the 2026 budget. Any additional comments, questions, discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, Sandra.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item is the board meeting dates for 2026. Danny has put those together for us, and we reviewed those in the working session, so I would entertain a motion to approve those.
Make a motion, we approve the 2026 Lebanon Utility Service Board meeting dates as presented and as corrected for December.
Second.
Motion made by Bill and seconded by Tim to approve the 2026 board meeting dates with an adjustment for the December dates, moving them up a week each. Any additional questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Next, we have Sandra back up for the salary and wages market adjustment.
And just as a reminder, back in early February, the Personnel Committee approached me and wanted us to do like a comprehensive market study for everyone. And we did that in 2 phases last year. We did one for electric in April, and then we did one for the other staff members in July. When completing those adjustments, we did leave out 5 members of the executive team because the Personnel Committee wanted to study those a little bit further. And they did contact me and recommend a 5% increase for the 5 positions that you should have in front of you. So based on the original market study and the recommendation from the Personnel Committee, we are recommending that the board approve a 5% salary adjustment for those 5 individuals listed.
There was also approval unanimously by all members of the board at a December 3rd executive session.
Subject to this public hearing approval.
Correct.
Yeah, we don't take votes in the working sessions, but we do discuss a lot of things. So everything's subject
And
to.
the point I'm
to vote.
making here is it was not just the personnel committee by themselves, that it
Yep.
was all five of us.
The board had full input.
In agreement.
Yep. All right. Any questions for Sandra? Comments?
No questions, but again, going back to, and I've said this a couple times this year, Sandra doesn't have enough going on her job now, so Bill and I put on to her to go and do these market adjustments all year. They take a significant amount of time, significant amount of effort, and you get a lot of data, and then you have to make some sense of the data. And Sandra has spent an enormous amount of time this year, and here we're completing the cycle for all employees, looking at the market and how salaries are impacted via the market. So we can put kind of a closure to this with this vote. And we can continue to thank Sandra for her second job beyond being our CFO.
Thank you.
I might also add that the 5% salary is a salary adjustment, not a pay increase.
All right. Any other?
The five positions are general manager, chief financial officer, water wastewater operations manager, water wastewater project manager, telecommunications operations manager.
Thanks for noting that, Aaron. All right. Other comments, questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve a 5% salary adjustment for the five individuals listed with an effective date of January 1, 2026.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Tim to approve the salary and wage market adjustment effective January 1, 2026, 5% for the positions noted. Any other questions or comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thanks, Sandra.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is the Parkview Water Supply and Wastewater Capacity Pre-Allocation Agreement. And looks like our legal counsel's got a couple of these here for us.
Yeah, Board, thank you. You have in front of you our, what is becoming more standard water supply and wastewater capacity pre-allocation agreement for Parkview Health Systems. A few items to note. I believe there's some representatives from Parkview Health Systems that are here this evening that I'm sure would be pleased to report to you that Monday at the Plan Commission meeting, they received a favorable recommendation for their project, which puts it into a qualified project status for receipt of pre-allocation water and wastewater. So we are cleared to approve this for this evening. And then as a reminder, this, should the board favorably approve this, would then be subject to city council approval. And then the last, so that the board is aware, this continues to go into a list of tracking that the staff does, Spencer and Ryan does on terms of where we are from a capacity commitment into 2027. So having said that, I'm sure the Parkview people will be happy to answer any questions should you have any, or would certainly love a favorable approval of this agreement.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Board, any questions, comments? Thank you to the Parkview representatives that are here tonight. Appreciate that.
Look forward to having you here in town.
All right, if there's no questions, I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the project Parkview Water Supply and Wastewater Capacity Pre-Allocation Agreement, subject to the approval by the Common Council of the City of Lebanon.
Okay.
Motion made by Tim, seconded by Bill to approve the project Parkview Water Supply and Wastewater Capacity Pre-Allocation Agreement, subject to approval of the Lebanon City Council. Any additional comments, questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Thank you, Board. And we will be targeting an early meeting in January. I will work with Parkview's council to get that on the City Council's agenda.
Great, thank you, everyone. Moving on, next we have the amended and restated Memorandum of Understanding for the Hickory Junction Water Supply and Wastewater Capacity Pre-Allocation Reservation Agreement. It's a lot of words, and I'm sure Jeff.
Yeah, so this is, if you recall, many months ago, we did an allocation of available capacity supporting the city's partnership in the TIF area. We've had a number of issues with this and delays. The CARD project in Hickory Junction was delayed pretty considerably because of some issues with NDOT. And this is a recommended agreement restating that original agreement for some of the wastewater capacity that will become available, and matches probably more of our process that this is a pre-allocation. And staff and I have reviewed and would recommend your approval of this agreement.
Right. Thank you, Jeff. Any questions, comments on this amended memorandum of understanding for Hickory Junction water supply and wastewater, actually?
Reference was made to some delays caused by NDOT decisions, but there's also been delays where our enlargement of the Hickory Junction lift station has been delayed by the inability of the developer to properly construct and pass over ownership of the lift station to us. And I just wanted to point that out, that's NDOT's not the only reason for delay in what's going on.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? I would entertain a motion.
Someone, anyone?
I move to approve the amendment, restated memorandum of understanding for Hickory Junction water supply and wastewater capacity pre-allocation reservation agreement subject to approval of the Common Council of the City of Lebanon.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Bill and seconded by Tim to approve the amended and restated memorandum of understanding for Hickory Junction water supply and wastewater capacity pre-allocation reservation agreement. Additional comments, discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, Jeff, for that. Looks like next, David Bailey is here from our metering department, and he has some surplus meters for us. Hey, David.
Hey, like you said, David Bailey, metering supervisor. First, we'll do the electric. Throughout the year, we replace a small percentage of electric meters due to damage, communication issues, or failure. In 2025, it's 47 electric meters we removed from service and replaced with new. Because the value is $0, we're requesting that the board declare these as surplus, and so we can dispose of them in accordance with the Indiana Code 5-22-22.
All right, thanks, David. We got a couple of motions here. First for the electric meters, and looks like next for water meters. So if there's no other questions on declaring these as surplus, I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve declaring the 47 electric meters as surplus property and allow David Bailey to dispose of the electric meters listed in accordance with IC 5-22-22.
Second.
Motion made by Tim, seconded by Ann to approve declaring these 47 electric meters as surplus, allowing David Bailey to dispose of these in accordance with IC 5-22-22. Any additional discussion?
David, where do these things go?
The electric meters, we basically we take all of our information off of, and then we just destroy them. So we just
So there's no really recyclable parts or anything like that?
No, they're about 98% plastic. So
Okay.
yeah, old meters were glass and metal and precious metals, but new ones are just CTs and a circuit board.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and then it looks like we have 1,268 water meters.
Yeah, so this was a part of the 5-year plan to replace all of our meters in town. So this year, we were able to replace 1,268. These do have some value. The supplier gives us $3 each for them back. They cannot be used anymore. They have to be scrapped, so they're melted down. So they do have plastic parts in them, and that's why we can't get premium value. They have to take them apart, and then they can melt them down. So it's less than $5,000, so I'm asking the board to approve these under the same Indiana code, the 52222.
What year is this of our program of 5 years?
This is the 5th year.
Last year?
So
Okay.
2025 was the 5th year. We
So-
started in 2020. We were able to replace 6,213 meters. We had 6,200 when we started this project. We currently have 7,376. So we still have about 1,000 left to do just because we kept adding houses and businesses throughout the time. But we have about 400 water meters in stock still. So we're able to change out about half of that. And then next year in the budget, we've added the rest of the meters in there. So we should be able to have the entire town to cellular reads.
Somebody moved the goalposts on you, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very challenging project, but we were able to get most of it done in the time frame. So I've had some staffing issues like everyone else. We've had people move, but we were able to get it done. And hopefully next year, everyone will be done in town. And being that that's said, and I know this is like off topic, but we're working with our billing vendor currently. So we can get this accessible to everyone as daily reads through the Smart Hub app. So not only will you have your electric reads, but you can have your water right beside it.
Good deal. All right.
David,
Thanks.
what's the life expectancy of a water meter?
So the batteries are warranted for 10 years, but they last for about 15. They have cellular transmitters in them, so we are at the mercy of the battery powered. Once the batteries die in there, we basically have to replace the entire transmitter.
Thank you.
All right, good info. Thanks, David. Any other questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Move to approve declaring 1,268 water meters as surplus personal property and allow David Bailey to sell the water meters listed in accordance with IC 5-22-22.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Ann to approve declaring the 1,268 water meters as surplus, allowing David Bailey to sell these in accordance with IC 52222. Additional comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Okay, looks like next up we have Jeff Greeno, our electric operations manager. He has the 2026 electric GIS assistance.
Yes, hello, everyone. This is a request I'm bringing to the board to approve the 2026 electric BFNS GIS assistance. The GIS is our geographic information system that connects data to a map, and it integrates location data where things are in the ground or above, and descriptive information, what things are. So I would just like to ask the board to approve the BFNS 2026 electric GIS assistance with a not-to-exceed amount of $45,000 with General Manager Ed Baskell to sign all documents. Any
All right, thank you, Jeff. Any questions for Jeff?
Jeff, does this cover like all of our updates and throughout the year? You know, we obviously have installations that they're going to add to the maps. Does this also cover like routine maintenance, or do they add specific additional data or anything relative?
Right now, it's a work in progress because we're trying to basically catch up on all of our data information, and BFNS helps us out greatly in trying to get that data that we're collecting put into the map for electric and water.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Would entertain a motion.
I move to approve Butler, Fairman, and Seifert for 2026 electric GIS assistance for the not to exceed amount of $45,000 and allow general manager Ed Baskell to sign all documents.
Second.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Bill to approve the BFNS 2026 electric GIS assistance for the not to exceed amount of $45,000 with our general manager signing all documents. Any other comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Jeff, looks like you've got another one here for the 2026 electric on-call electrical project management assistance.
Yes, I have one more item here. This is a request to approve the 2026 BFNS on-call electrical project management assistance. The work would include, but not limited to, they help us with requests for proposals on big projects, or if we need to get some technical support or assistance in coordination of electrical projects. So I would just like to ask the board to approve the BFNS 2026 on-call electrical project management assistance with the not to exceed amount of $10,000 and have General Manager Ed Baskell sign all documents.
All right, any questions on this item for Jeff? I would entertain a motion.
Move to approve Butler, Fairman, and Seifert for the 2026 on-call electrical project management assistance for the not to exceed amount of $10,000 and allow General Manager Ed Baskell to sign all documents.
Second.
Motion made by Tim, seconded by Ann to approve Butler, Fairman, and Seifert for 2026 on-call electrical project management assistance for an amount not to exceed $10,000 with our general manager signing all documents. Additional questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right, next item tonight is the 2026 on-call water and wastewater construction inspection. And Spencer Portish is here. He is our water and wastewater project manager. Hey, Spence.
Good evening. So as we previously discussed in the working session, we've kind of got an opportunity here to combine the next several items all listed out for BFNS. So I would like to suggest that we move to approve the following Butler, Fairman, and Seifert agreements for 2026. I'll go through and list each agreement and the amount not to exceed if you would like to proceed that way. If not, I can go through each individual agreement. I just wanted to see kind of what the board would want to do. These all are agreements that we have previously had in place.
I prefer individual.
Okay, I can do that.
Let's proceed as written here.
Can do. So this request is for the on-call water and wastewater construction inspection. This request is to approve the BFNS on-call water and wastewater construction inspection agreement. BFNS has worked alongside Lebanon Utilities throughout the last couple of years with several agreements similar to this. This agreement will cover several items such as pre-construction meetings, verification that non-Lebanon utility projects are meeting local standards and specifications, final walkthroughs, inspections, as well as managing record drawings and as-built. This is a budgeted item through the 2026 under engineering fees. This is for an amount not to exceed $100,000. So I would request that we approve the 2026 on-call water and wastewater construction inspection for the amount not to exceed $100,000.
All right, thank you, Spencer. Questions for Spencer?
Civil district only, correct?
Yes, sir.
In part of the agreement here, I need a little explanation. One of the job duties is verification that non-Lebanon Utilities projects are meeting local standards and specifications. What does that refer to?
I'll let Ryan take this one.
That would just be a private project. We have our civil projects in the budget. If a private developer is putting in and connecting to the water main, we want to see that connection. We want to have an inspection on that. So anything that would be private that our projects, we already have inspectors on. So any private construction project, if we need their assistance in that area, or if that project is having some issues with maintaining city standards or not following plans, we can get their assistance in having somebody out there when our staff can't be out there.
Okay, so if, for example, the city has a project, they would have their own inspectors and ours wouldn't be involved with the city project.
Correct.
It'd
But
just be these private projects.
it would be, or if the city, if there are phases of the city project that has utility stuff out there and we'd like an inspector to go and make sure that the project's going well or to double check on it and we can't provide the staff, they can go out there, spend some time, and it's just billed on an hourly rate for whatever time that we would need their assistance.
So it would be both private and city jobs?
Yeah, so it would be any non-utility project that we would need them, because on our projects, as part of the budget, we have construction inspection already figured into that budget, so we would need additional inspection.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, any other comments or questions for this on-call water wastewater construction inspection? I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve Butler, Fairman, Cipher for 2026 on-call water and wastewater construction inspection for the amount not to exceed $100,000.
Second. Give it to Ann.
Motion made by Bill and given to Ann by Tim to approve the 2026 on-call water and wastewater construction inspection with BF&S for an amount not to exceed $100,000. Any additional discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Spencer, you got a mini marathon here, so we'll keep moving. This was the 26 TAC and Plan Review Assistance Agreement.
Yes, sir. This request is to approve the BF&S TAC Review and Plan Review Assistance Agreement. This agreement will cover assistance in TAC meetings and development plan reviews. BF&S does a great job of providing support in reviewing construction and development plans, as well as in addition to Lebanon Utilities staff going through these. It just helps us kind of stay on top of things. They see stuff like this a little more often than we do throughout projects. So I request the approval of the BF&S 2026 TAC and Plan Review Agreement for the amount not to exceed $40,000.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Spencer on this item? I'd entertain a motion.
Move to approve Butler, Fairman, and Seifert 2026 TAC and Plan Review Agreement for the amount not to exceed $40,000.
Second.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Bill to approve the BF&S 2026 TAC and Plan Review Agreement for an amount not to exceed $40,000. Any additional discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, Spence, on to the on-call water wastewater project management assistance.
Sir, this request is for the approval of the 2026 on-call water and wastewater project management assistance agreement. Upon request from an authorized member of Lebanon Utilities, BF&S will assist on an on-call hourly basis as needed with project-specific tasks, meetings, and other engineering services required. We've done a good job of utilizing them in the past as well with similar agreements like this. So I would request that we approve the 2026 on-call water and wastewater project management assistance agreement for the amount not to exceed $50,000.
All right, thank you. Questions for Spencer here? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Move to approve Butler, Fairman, and Cipher for 2026 on-call water and wastewater project management assistance agreement for the amount not to exceed $50,000.
Second.
Motion made by Tim, seconded by Bill to approve the Butler Fairman Seifert 2026 on-call water wastewater project management assistance agreement for an amount not to exceed $50,000.
So this is civil district only, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm ready.
Any additional questions or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, on to the 2026 LEAP Coordination Water Program Management.
Yes, sir. This is the 2026 On-Call Water Program Management Assistance Agreement for the LEAP District. This scope is, a part of this scope would be covering coordination meetings with various local stakeholders, development stakeholders, state stakeholders, and provide various requests for water information and facilitate and participate in coordination meetings as needed. Again, this is for the LEAP District itself, and this will be paid for out of the SRF bond. And I would like to request for the approval of this on-call water program management assistance for the LEAP District for the amount not to exceed $50,000.
All right, thank you. Questions for Spencer here? I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve Butler, Fairman, and Seifert on-call water program management assistance for the LEAP district for the amount of not to exceed $50,000.
Second.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Tim to approve the BFNS 2026 on-call water program management assistance for LEAP district for an amount not to exceed $50,000. Any additional discussion?
Why can't the water and the wastewater be combined? Or why didn't we do that?
I believe they come out of separate buckets. The water, why we didn't combine water and wastewater for LEAP for each agreement?
They come out of separate.
Okay.
All right, any other questions for Spencer here on this item? If not, actually, we have a motion and a second. So all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and now the LEAP coordination for wastewater.
Yes, sir. This is the same exact agreement for the LEAP wastewater program management assistance. And this one, same dollar amount, same language in the agreement. This is just for the wastewater side. So I request for the approval of the 2026 on-call wastewater program management assistance for the LEAP district for the amount not to exceed $50,000.
Also to be paid for by a LEAP SRF loan.
Yes, sir.
All right, questions, comments?
Out of the SRF bond or the? Okay.
Any other questions? I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve Butler, Fairman, Cyphers 2026 on-call wastewater program management assistant for the LEAP district for the amount not to exceed $50,000.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Tim to approve the BFNS 2026 on-call wastewater program management assistance for the LEAP district in an amount not to exceed $50,000. Any additional discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, on to the next item, which is the 2026 pretreatment program assistance.
Yes, sir. This request is to approve the Wessler Engineering Task Order Number 11, Pretreatment Program Assistance. This scope of services includes assistance with record keeping and tracking systems for individual industrial users, on-site assistance for Lebanon utilities on industrial inspection events, completion of the pretreatment annual report, and more. This is a part of the civil district, Aaron, and I would like to request the approval of the Wessler Engineering Task Order Number 11 for the pretreatment program assistance for the amount not to exceed $45,000.
All right, any questions for Spencer on this item? I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve Wessler Engineering Task Order Number 11, pretreatment program assistance for the amount not to exceed $45,000.
Second.
Motion made by Tim, seconded by Bill to approve Wessler Engineering Task Order Number 11, pretreatment program assistance in an amount not to exceed $45,000. Additional discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, let's move on to the 2026 General Engineering Services.
Yes, sir. This request is to approve the Wessler Engineering Task Order Number 12 for general services. This task order shall include engineering and field services on an on-call basis. This is also for the civil district, and I'd like to note that there is an incorrect date on the actual task order itself on the signatory page. We'll get that corrected before we get that signed, but I'd like to request for the approval of the Wessler Engineering Task Order Number 12 for general services for the amount not to exceed $15,000.
All righty. Questions for Spencer here on this general engineering service item? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve Wessler Engineering Task Order Number 12, general services for the amount not to exceed $15,000, subject to the execution date being changed.
Second.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Bill to approve the Wessler Engineering Task Order Number 12, general services for an amount not to exceed $15,000, pending the correction of the date. Any additional comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, Spencer, we're moving right along here. Looks like we have a surplus truck here to declare.
Yes, sir. This request is to declare a vehicle number 12 as surplus. This is a 2001 Dodge Ram 2500. We will most likely take this to auction. We've tried to trade this in when we did the wastewater treatment plant treatment van purchase, but we really haven't had any feedback as far as trade value. So essentially, my goal would be to end up taking this to auction once we declare this surplus. We weren't able to get much trade-in value through a dealership. So my request would be for the approval to declare vehicle 12 as surplus according to Indiana Code 5-22-22.
Right? Any questions for Spencer on this truck?
Well, this is a 24-year-old vehicle. I guess we missed the 10-year vehicle replacement plan on this one, didn't we?
Yes, sir. Just by a couple years.
More, yeah.
It served its time.
Yes, it has.
All right. Any other questions or comments? I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve declaring truck number 12, a 2001 Ram 2500 as surplus property in accordance with IC 5-22-22.
Second.
Motion made by Tim, seconded by Ann to approve declaring truck number 12, 2001 Ram 2500 as surplus in accordance with IC 5-22-22. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you, Spencer. Appreciate it.
If I counted right, Spencer, I think you just put us through 8 motions. I would think that lunch tomorrow is on Ryan at a place of your choosing.
I would like to say that if Ryan did that, it would have been a little bit longer. And I'll leave it at that.
He was efficient.
Oh, maybe not lunch tomorrow.
All right, we have claims, payroll, and transfers dated December 17th, 2025. Everyone reviewed those, and if so, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve the claims, payroll, and transfers dated December 17, 2025 in the amount of $3,351,570.95 for claims and payrolls and 0 for transfers.
Second.
Motion made by Tim, seconded by Ann to approve the claims, payroll, and transfers dated December 17th, 2025. Any additional discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Anyone from the board have any other business they want to bring up tonight? I will just say it's been an eventful year. It's our last meeting of 2025, and it's been very busy, and appreciate all the staff and board's hard work this year. And I know next year is going to bring at least that much. So I want to make sure that we wish everyone happy holidays and get some rest if you can, and be ready for another busy year. So Anybody have anything else for the board?
Motion to adjourn.
All right, I got to ask for public comment one more time, even though there's no one here. No public comment. Next meeting is January 7th, 5 PM. And now we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.